Today we'll begin with chapter 18. Manassinodu, to the mind. This is a very simple chapter. Very simple but very profound. He's telling you what to do when you still keep going back to your old conditioning. Yeah, till now Atmananda never spoke something like this. He was only talking about the Brahman till now. Yes, in the last chapter he started the journey outward. So in the last chapter we just turned around and from that vantage point we looked out. Do you remember that? Yeah. Now he has moved one more step ahead, outwards, towards the mind. Very clear? Yeah. So first you have to take the first step beyond. Be the witness. Let the I dissolve. Recognize that I am nothingness. From that vantage point of nothingness, when I look out, I recognize everything is in a deep sleep state, devoid of ignorance. Yeah? Now I take one step towards the mind. You see that? I'm going outwards. This is the outward journey. In the last chapter, Atmananda showed us how everything is in a deep sleep state devoid of ignorance, including the images that are there. Images of war, images of hatred, images of politics, of power, images of love and passion, images of grief and happiness. All of it is nothing but consciousness. There is no duality seen there anymore. They are not seen as images of light anymore. They are seen as light itself. Have you reached that stage where you don't see them as images of light anymore, but only as light itself? Then you recognize that these images are in a deep sleep state, as there is no ignorance of them being images anymore. That ignorance has been removed. They are simply seen as light. There is no duality seen anymore. They are not seen as waves in the water. They are seen as water itself. Hence the phrase is used that these waves are in a deep sleep state, as there is no ignorance of them being waves anymore. They are just simply water. Have you reached that stage where you recognize them as water and not as waves? So the only task that is remaining for you, the consciousness, is to continuously recognize this, continuously. But when you forget your stand and you assume to be the mind, then what do? Then you have to continuously instruct yourself. Do you get it? I am getting involved in self-foolery. It's not even somebody else is fooling me. I am fooling myself now. That is why this chapter's name is Manassinodu, to the mind. It is addressed by the consciousness to itself when it assumes the false conception of being somebody. Yeah. From being nothingness, suddenly there is the becoming happening. Suddenly there is the false conception of being the person. There is a word used in the first verse. It is abhiman. The word is same in Malayalam as it is in Hindi. It means having a false conception about your own self. Yeah? So now, understanding who is talking to whom. It is consciousness talking to itself when it takes the wrong stand as the mind, the false stand as the mind. That is the conversation in this chapter. Consciousness talking to itself. Consciousness having forgotten its recognition of everything just being in a deep sleep state devoid of ignorance. Consciousness forgot that and again became ignorant. It became the mind. Yeah. So now consciousness recognizes, this happens to me. So now I am going to instruct this mind, or I am going to write a letter to this mind. Think of this chapter as a letter by the consciousness to the mind. You call it a love letter, you call it a warning letter, whatever you want. Yeah? So this is a very cute way that Atmananda is instructing the mind, instructing himself actually, when he assumes to be the mind. So verse 1 is so Atmananda is telling his mind and indirectly asking us to tell ourselves when we assume to be the mind, when I assume to be the mind, to be the I, to be somebody, some person. What is he saying to that illusory somebody? If you are going to live as you please, claiming that you are I, how can you accomplish your desire? He's urging the mind to stop being superfluous and fake and egoistic. That is the word abhiman. Abhiman nichu. You see it in the first line. He's asking the mind that if it continues to claim that it is I, then it can never accomplish its most deepest desire. What is the biggest desire? What is your highest desire? To attain peace, right? To be at peace. But if you keep claiming that you are I, then you cannot accomplish this desire, oh my dear mind. This is what he's instructing the mind. What does he want to convey? That you have forgotten suddenly that there is no I. The I had dissolved and died the moment the no-thingness was recognized. The background of no-thingness, the shunyata, was recognized. You have forgotten that I. That was the end of the person. That was the end of the journey of the person. But this means, if again you are saying I, that means you have not recognized, you are not clear. Your journey is not complete. Journey has two legs. One is Brahman Satyam. Everything is consciousness, that stillness, that peace, that no-thingness, the nobodiness. Everything is consciousness, Brahman Satyam. But this is only the first leg of the journey. Maybe you've only got the first leg of the journey. The second is that Jagat is mithya. The world as I cognize of it is an illusion. And this Jagat includes the body, the mind, the person. Do you see this? Maybe I don't see it. That is why you, O mind, are still claiming to be I. You see this? Both are equally important. Without both together, self-realization is incomplete. So homework for you. Is this clear experientially to you that just by recognizing I am Brahman, the journey is incomplete? It is not complete for me. I am still struggling after recognizing I am the awareness. I am still stuck. I still have certain problems coming up and I get stuck in them and I lose my understanding that I am Brahman. The world and the person, as I cognize of it, both are an illusion. If this wisdom is not there to complete the journey, then one can go on the grand ego tour. That is how people become very egoistic and go into yoga maya. Oh, I know it all. I know it better than you. Yeah, I am great. You are less. And all those, things start happening. Spiritual shops are born that way. You worship me. You take care of me. You build my organization. You put up my statue everywhere, in every city. Red Alert Avenue to recognize that half-baked spiritual knowledge is dangerous. Half-baked knowledge is only recognizing I am Brahman. Many people stop their journey there, but they continue to suffer. Full knowledge is I am Brahman and the Jagat, which includes this person, body, mind, personality. This is mithya. Both together are required. Mithya means illusion. So if the mind is stuck with half-baked knowledge, it assumes the egoistic notion that I am. Yeah? So that is when Atmananda is addressing the mind. When you claim that I, how can your desire be fulfilled? Mind's desire is only one, happiness, nothing else it wants. It wants the ultimate happiness. And it wants permanent happiness. Have you seen this? It does not like impermanent happiness. It likes the idea of a permanent, continuous happiness. Yeah. So Atmananda tells the mind, how? Wake up. If the I is alive and kicking, if I is alive and kicking, you is alive and kicking. That means Dvaitam is there. I am not seeing that this personality and that personality are in a state of deep sleep. I am seeing I and you. Are you seeing this difference? Yes. When I'm watching a movie, I just see hero and heroine and villain and characters. Yes. But if I get involved in the movie, I feel I am the hero or the heroine and this is happening to me. Again, I shake out of it, wake up, and I recognize I am the audience, and then I see two characters. Is this clear? The difference is clear. Yeah. So what he's saying is when you just see them as characters, you're seeing that it is in a state of deep sleep. There is no ignorance that is I. The moment the I goes there, it jumps from here to there, then that is mithya, that is an illusion. The I is alive and kicking and the you is alive and kicking. This is the root cause of misery. From this I and you arises the lust for name, fame, power, politics, relationship troubles, drama, etc., etc. Clear? So again and again recognize, my desire is the highest bliss, the supreme state of peace. How can half-baked knowledge fulfill this desire? Oh dear mind, how? So in the next verse, Atmananda tells the mind more about this in detail. He doesn't just stop there. Verse 2. Vagary means an idiosyncrasy, a quirk, a sudden change in behavior. Yeah, so what is Atmananda telling the mind here? Don't believe that hereafter, that by such a claim, your vagaries will be accepted, your idiosyncrasies will be accepted by me, your sudden changes in behavior will be accepted by me. I see the truth. I am not going to accept any quirks of yours, O mind. I recognize I am consciousness, and there is nothing other than consciousness. It is clear. Everything is in a state of deep sleep. Yes. What is the sudden vagary of the mind? The sudden idiosyncrasy? This mind, when it's sitting in an Advaita Vedanta session on the weekend, it accepts and embraces the truth that the person does not exist. There is no I. Then suddenly out of nowhere, in the middle of the week, there is no session, no Advaita knowledge. It changes its party. It assumes it is the person. It becomes the I. So Atmananda is saying, now I am not going to accept such vagaries in the future. You cannot fool me, O mind. He doesn't stop there. He warns the mind further in the next verse. So Atmananda warns the mind in this verse about projection. Yeah? What is the law of projection? You must know that the truth of the saying, he who does a thing alone reaps the fruit of that action, good or bad. So whatever I project, I am going to reap that fruit, whether it is good or bad, and I am alone in that. You are on your own, he tells the mind. I have got nothing to do with you and your idiosyncrasies. If you project good, you will reap a good fruit. You project bad, you alone must reap that. You are on your own. It's a warning. Yeah. Just like if you remember, Nisargadatta Maharaj said, I have got nothing to do with God. Similarly, Atmananda is directly warning the mind. Whatever you sow so shall you reap. You're alone. Yeah, you must know that truth. I have got nothing to do with you. Atmananda doesn't stop there. Huh? He is doing a very thorough self-inquiry and he's training his own mind. So in his self-exploration, he goes deeper. Yeah? And we'll see what he says to the mind in verse 4. So Atmananda is encouraging the mind, do some self-inquiry. If you can keep up to your claim that I am this and I am this person or I am this somebody or this is happening to me, whatever claim that the mind has made in that situation, if you can live according to this claim, well and good. But do one thing, you try to see me. Why is he saying that to the mind? Because Atmananda is very clear that this mind keeps dissolving and disappearing into the background of nothingness. So it means that it is not permanent, it is not I. Because the real I knows that this thought dissolved into the real I. This feeling, whatever the feeling was going on, that feeling dissolved, the mind dissolved. This real I knows. So the real I is telling this fake I, if you want to claim that you are I and you can live by your claim, well and good. But then who is it that is knowing that you dissolve? Who knows that the mind dissolved? If the mind is I and that I dissolved, then who knows that the I dissolved? That means this was the fake I, no? So Atmananda says you cannot stand by your claim first of all. And even if you want to be very stubborn and stand by that claim, then first you attempt to see me. If you are the I, then what about me? Who am I? Attempt to see me. This is the challenge that Atmananda throws towards the mind every time the mind becomes Mr. Somebody. Yeah. As we go further, he will make it easy for the mind by giving instructions how to go about this research, how to find me. So you stop here for a moment and you bring to your memory anything that happened during the week where the I became someone. Yeah? Maybe the mother, the father, or maybe the daughter, the son, the brother, the sister, whatever. How dare she say this to me, or how dare he say this to me? Whatever. It was some big drama story that happened during the week. Bring to your mind that story and recognize when this I was there, wasn't it saying that, oh, he should have not said this to me, she should have not done this to me, I am like this and I am not like this. Now Atmananda is instructing you, next time this situation comes up, what are you supposed to do? You challenge that. You tell that mind, okay, if you're saying you are I, oh, the mother of this child was misbehaving with this mother, how dare he talk like this to me? I am the mother. I? Okay, if you are the I, then who am I? Challenge yourself in that dramatic situation. No point doing it in retrospect right now. No point. Right now you'll get 10 on 10. Your real marks come during the dramatic situation, right? Yes. So, homework for the week. This is what I have to do. When that situation happens, that moment, oh, see, he said this to me. I am so intelligent. What does he think of me? And who is this I? If you are I, then who am I? Do that. That challenging is very important. It's a self-challenge. Get busy with this rather than wasting your time on watching news about the war now. Enough. You focus on this inner war going on between the fake I and the real I. This is the war you have to deal with. Okay? Yeah. So now let's see. Atmananda will give you exact instructions how you have to go about it. Verse 5. See, he's giving instructions very clear to the mind. Very clear instructions. He's saying, even though I, the consciousness, am everywhere, I am in front of you, I am behind you, above you, below you, around you, inside you, outside you. Yet, you just attempt to look behind you and attempt to see me, the consciousness. So, when you have taken that sudden stand of being the mother, how did the kid say this to me? Or you've taken the stand of the friend or whatever stand you've taken, the colleague. How did he say this to me? Yeah. I am good. I am respectable. I, at that moment, instruct that I. If you are I, who am I? Attempt to look behind and see me. And this is the inner guru training the disciple. You have a direct explanation on how the inner guru is operating. One does not need an external guru as much as one needs this internal guru's instructions. This internal guru's instructions is the true inner grace. There is nothing like external grace. That is simply mithya, story, illusion. There's nothing like external blessing. Internal blessing, where I recognize that I have become someone, the person. And that moment I remember the instruction to myself and I attempt to see the true I, the real I in the background, behind me, the fake I. Yeah? That means grace is showering on me. I saw that. Immediately I got out of that fake somebody, whatever I was. The mother, the brother, the colleague, the friend. Yeah? I got out of that somebodyness and took the correct stand of nobodyness. The inner guru tells the disciple mind to search for me, your guru. And me, your guru, is behind the mind. Transcend the mind. Clear? Verse 6. So the Guru, the witness consciousness, is telling the mind in this verse, I am always standing behind you. Always. But how? Disinterestedly. I am not interested in all this. I don't become passionate. Yeah? Or I don't even become aggressive or angry. I am standing there, absolutely disinterested, but witnessing every activity that you are doing. You can see me effortlessly. Recognizing me is effortless. You can just turn back and recognize me. Not physically turn back. Yeah? Move out from your somebodyness and immediately recognize me as the sense of I am in the background. That which witnesses the mind saying I get this or I don't quite get this, that is the true I, the witnessing consciousness. That mind is simply a reflection of this witness, no? It is not the true I. It is the fake I. It believes itself to be the person, and it is there during this waking state. What happens in the dream state? The I has suddenly transferred to some other dream body mind. Completely different. Party badlu. It keeps changing its party. It's not the true I. Yeah. So don't fall for this trap. Simply look behind and recognize the witnessing background. That is the real I. It doesn't even say I. It's just the sense of being. The sense of witnessing the mother or the father or the brother or whatever that person had become in the middle of the drama and said, I. In the next verse, Atmananda describes what happens the moment the mind turns behind or turns inwards. Yeah. Verse 7. So the instruction to the mind does not stop at just turn behind and seeing who I truly am. It does not stop at the challenge. It gives instructions to the mind. Yeah? The proper instructions given. See that you, O mind, are constantly bahirmukhi. And it's not your fault. That's because you have been trained to look out only through the five senses. When the mind turns inwards, it is called antarmukhi. The moment its focus turns inwards towards the witness consciousness, the mind, along with the witness consciousness, gets sucked into the black hole of nothingness, of pure consciousness. That is the innermost core of your being. Clear? That is what Atmananda is saying in verse 7. Now, this is your very clear understanding. No doubt about this understanding. You have recognized this on your journey coming here. Yes? Then why do you forget it? Why do you, in the middle of some drama, forget it and take the stand of the person? Again, instruct your mind. Look, I am not going to be a party to this nonsense anymore. You cannot fool me anymore. Yeah. Attempt to recognize that I am behind. Turn behind. As soon as you turn behind to see me, I will take you to the innermost core of your being. And there you will see the true me. Now, somebody who has not got this experientially, he will say, I will take you to the innermost core of your being, and there you will see me. A person who is not experientially there does not understand that the first I in the sentence is the witness consciousness, and there you will see me, that me is the primordial awareness. Yes, but you recognize that. Definitely, right? Yes. The sense of I am has a subtle form. It says I. But the true me, that is the no-thingness, it's formless. There is no subtle form also. That clarity is there. Yeah. So what is the innermost core of your being? There is no object to see there, no object to hear, nothing to touch, nothing to taste, nothing to smell there, O mind. There is simply the vast. And that vast is called Brahman in Sanskrit. This vast cannot be grasped by the mind. It can only be experienced as the black hole of nothingness that sucks in the mind. The mind only knows the peace or the absence of the objects there after it comes out. Yeah, it just has that aftertaste of a sweet peace. The mind emerges out of this vast, and that aftertaste of that sweet peace is still lingering. That aftertaste of the absence of objects is still lingering. That's how the mind knows that there was absence of experience there. Do you get this? There was absence of objects there. That's how you know the deep sleep state. There's simply nothingness, absence of objects, absence of experience. Basically, there was no becoming, there was no I. Yeah? There's simply being. Now recognize, when you move towards the deep sleep state, you cannot recognize anything there because there's an absence of experience, absence of objects. So you cannot say even that you had an experience of the absence of experience. What is the experience of absence of experience? Nothing. There is nothing there. Yeah? There are no objects there. There is no question answer there. There is no mind there. There is no body there. There is no world there. There is nothing there. Yeah? There's simply being. Only when you emerge from that nothingness, there is the lingering aftertaste of that sweet peace of nothingness. Yes? That is the meaning of I will take you to the innermost core of your being, and there you will see me. You already know this in your experiential recognition. You simply need to instruct your own mind regarding this again and again. You have tasted the sweet peace. Why do you resort to your idiosyncrasies? Why do you resort to this vagary? Why do you keep changing your party? Yeah? Again and again, hold the hand of the mind and take it to the nothingness. Let it recognize that it disappears there. You have to train it to rest there. Yes? So your journey, the outward journey, is only about training the mind. Again and again and again, taking it by the hand. The witness holds the hand of the mind and takes it to the pure consciousness, the nothingness, and allows it to disappear. Ask yourself this: have I been doing this? If you have truly been doing this, then moment to moment you would have been able to maintain that stand. You say, oh, it's not moment to moment. Why? Because you have not been doing this. Is this correct? Yes? Yeah, so this is an intense week of practice. I have to do this moment to moment to moment to moment. Again and again, attempt to see that everything is really a deep sleep state devoid of ignorance. So once the mind gets trained, what will happen? This is what Atmananda will tell us in verse 8. You've already started getting glimpses of this. Yeah, when the mind keeps diving into the nothingness again and again and again and again, it becomes evident that the mind itself disappears into the sweet peace of nothingness and re-emerges out of it. Like a wave dissolves into the ocean and re-emerges out of it. Wave is nothing but water. Similarly, the mind is nothing but consciousness, nothingness. Thought is nothing but nothingness. Feeling is nothing but nothingness. Sensation is nothing but nothingness. It only appears to be something. A wave only appears to be something, but its reality is only water. There is only Nama Rupa there. So that is what Atmananda is saying in this verse. Later on, you will see that the thoughts and feelings are none other than myself. When this becomes clear that consciousness is all there is, and there is no more doubt, then you see everything is me. Even when the mind creates drama waves, with drama feelings, drama desires, drama fears, all these drama waves are nothing but me, the consciousness. All the drama waves are seen as if they are in a deep sleep state, because now they are not labeled anymore as the waves. They are not seen as independent waves as they were seen earlier when there was ignorance. Yeah? They are all in a deep sleep state devoid of ignorance. It is all simply myself. Next homework for you. Have you experientially reached the stage of understanding? That thought is me, feeling is me. This perception of the son or the daughter, of the parent, the family member is me. There is no other. Yeah? This dramatic boss firing me, that is also me. Yeah? The war, the villain of the war, that is also me. Yes? All of it is myself. Yeah? Am I able to experientially see this? This has to be seen throughout the week, moment to moment. Now you're past that stage that, oh, I get only glimpses. It's not moment to moment. Now that stage is gone. Yeah, now moment to moment, am I able to experientially recognize this? He elaborates further in verse 9. So in verse 9, he's saying not just the mind is seen as me, the consciousness, but also the so-called objects of the world that are nothing but thought forms. They are also seen as consciousness. So first step is to see that this husband or this wife, this child, this parent, that is a thought form. It's not a real, individually existing piece of matter that has life in it. No. This is a thought form. And then second stage, seeing that thought form is me, the consciousness. Have both these stages happen for each and every family member, each and every friend, each and every colleague, and then each and every acquaintance. Are you able to see this for each and every person in the world? That this is nothing but simply a thought form. And then second stage, that thought form is nothing but me, the consciousness. This is your next homework. The verse says that since all objects are mere thought forms, they will also be seen in the end as myself. Not just persons, all objects of taste, touch, smell, sight, sound. They are nothing but thoughts projected. That similar projection is experienced in the dream state, as it is seen right now, experienced right now in this waking state. The tiger in the dream is as real as the difficult financial situation in this waking state. When there is the tiger in the dream, it's not seen as an illusion. The fear is seen real. Yes? Similarly, the difficult financial situation in this waking state, that fear towards it is real. But really, isn't this a thought form? Isn't that also a thought form? That situation does not exist here. This does not exist there. They are both similar illusions. Why illusion? Because they do not exist all the time. They are not permanent. That is not here. This is not there. This just arises and falls away. Then that arises, that falls away. Again this arises, falls away. They are clearly seen as made up of thought. And thought is made up of consciousness. Just like waves are nothing but water. So even by touching, tasting, smelling, seeing, hearing, I cannot confirm the existing of anything out there other than my field of awareness, consciousness. Everything is myself. Yes, this is what Atmananda is elaborating in verse 10. So in this last verse, consciousness tells the mind that only when you reach the stage where you keep taking a dip into the holy nothingness, you allow yourself to get sucked into that black hole. And when you attain that sweet peace of nothingness, then only you can claim that you are I. He says in this last verse that then you will not see me different from yourself. Your claim that you are I will become true. only when you reach that state. Homework for you. Have you reached that state where the mind has earned the right to address itself as the I? So some more work to be done. Yes, intense practice to be done this week. Especially when you get glued to that war news. And see what sensations start arising. Yeah, and see how you start reacting to those sensations. I am experiencing this fear. Yeah, or I'm experiencing hatred towards this villain of the war. I'm experiencing all compassion for all these victims of the war. Yeah? I? Who's this I? Turn back. Attempt to turn back and see me. Yeah? The moment you turn back, I will take you and let you see me in your innermost core, in that nothingness. There you can claim you are I. Unless that happens, you do not have the right to say I. This answers your question, no? What is Advaita in vocabulary? The mind does not have the right to say I. Yeah, unless it comes to this stage. Okay. So last homework. You must write a letter to your mind. A love letter, a warning letter, what kind of letter you want to write, you write. Yes, you should also have 10 verses for the mind. Not necessarily poetic verses like Atmananda. You can have a nice long essay, but with 10 points that you're telling the mind. Yeah? Your mind. Specific, very specific. Because you know where, in which situation, which drama the person comes up, no? Your situation is going to be different from Atmananda's situation. So very specific letter, a love letter to the mind.